three of you guys. For one thing, you're out of this game. And I run a clean game here. Have any trouble, I'll suspend. I'm gonna sing a fucking song!
All right, everybody, we're back here on the show. It's my honor to introduce our next guest. He is obviously one of the trio of the Hanson brothers from the hit movie, one of the probably the best movie of hockey movie of all time.
Absolutely.
In 1977, the star was Paul Newman, but these guys played a huge role in it, and believe it or not, I honestly think that they were it. They were the reason for the movie to be such a success. And it's my honor to introduce Steve Carlson, a.k.a. Steve Hanson.
Hey, Stefano.
You there, Steve? Welcome to the Wiseguyz Show. The engineer will be working as we go to improve it if he can. I want to thank you so much for giving us your time. How's everything going?
Everything's going really well. You know, it's this COVID thing. It's been now for 1 year since we've been on the road again, but it's been a tough year because you can't go on to travel, you can't go anywhere, and that's one of our biggest things we wanted to do. Is we meet and greet a lot of people and make people happy. We couldn't do it this year.
Yeah. Well, I told you earlier, we reached out to a few cons that we're part of. As soon as they get back, I'm sure you'll be getting phone calls. Now, I want to ask you, I did some research. I watched the movie a million times. I'm confused. Your characters on the show are from three other hockey players that were the Carlsons?
No, it was me, my brother Jeff, and my brother Jack. We played as a line for the Johnstown Jets, the farm team of Minnesota Fighting Saints in the WHA. Dave Hanson was known as Dave Killer Hanson in real life, that played for the Jets also. And the movie's based on the three Carlson brothers that had long hair, black glasses, and my two brothers were the fighters, they're enforcers. I was more of a playmaker, hockey player. And the movie is based on what happened with us. We got arrested going in the stands. We did jump teams in warm-ups. We did have the bench clearing brawls, and that was the time and era of the Broad Street Bullies, where if someone has the puck, they should be hit. If a fight breaks out, so be it.
Yeah. Oh man, let me tell you that I told you when I first talked to you on the phone. There's a part of the Hanson brothers in me for sure. I mean, because that's. No, I played a lot of hockey. I played street hockey, roller hockey, roller skate hockey, roller blade hockey, ice hockey. I didn't.
So did you spend, Freddie? Did you spend a lot of time in a penalty box?
I tell you what.
You got, no. Let me tell you something here now. You ever notice in the movie we never got a penalty minute? See, you were dumb tough. We were smart tough.
You never noticed they didn't get it. Let me tell you, you were the movie. You guys were the movie, and I got confused because over the years, you know, when Google came out, you were able to research stuff. But I always thought that you were a Carlson and the other two were Hansons.
No, it was my brother Jeff. See, what happened with that one is the three Carlsons were going to be the Hanson brothers, and Dave Hanson was going to be Killer Carlson in the movie. But my brother Jack got called up to Edmonton for the playoffs, and they wouldn't let him come down the film. So Dave Hanson, who was going to be Killer Carlson, became one of the Hanson brothers with my brother Jeff and myself, and Jerry Hauser came in to be Killer Carlson.
Gotcha. See, it's all,
wow,
it's a little confusing, but I get it. But I did recognize in the movie that your name was mentioned. I did hear Steve Carlson in the movie in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right.
Was that a tribute?
It's kind of... Exactly. No, see, the other two were too stupid to talk, so they gave me all the lines.
Let me tell you, I got confused at first who you were. I put Jeff on, but you were my favorite character by far. That scene in the movie where you told the ref, "I want you to listen to the fucking song."
I love that part.
that was probably the greatest moment.
That's I don't know what you answered, but I know the scene you're talking about. That scene took 3 days to film because the referee couldn't skate.
Jeez.
Nobody understands that. You're in an arena. The national anthem's playing. The referee comes over to you. Everybody's listening to the national anthem, and to hear you say, "I'm listening to fucking song," that's got to echo throughout the whole arena, and it's just it's priceless. It's priceless.
The one with the when they go into the room with the RC cars, they're racing their cars.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. Now
there was so there's so many classic scenes in that film where it was unbelievable, with Strother Martin coming in with his pants halfway up his ankles, with the white socks coming in during the the finals, and we're losing all those scouts, all those fashion shows. That was the funniest scene. That took a long time because we couldn't keep a straight face when he was saying it. It was so, every time he'd come in, he would say it a different way, and it was just funnier and funnier every time he did it.
This is Jumpin' Gennaro. I have a question for you. So when you have really amazing magical moments in a film, and when there's many, of course, it is the chemistry and the talent that's involved. But the other thing that makes it magical is a lot of moments are improvised. So how much flexibility did you have, like in throughout the film, where you were able to improvise certain things or come out with your own input as opposed to getting direction?
Oh, there's no doubt, because what happened here is Paul Newman helped us a lot with the acting part of it, because we're hockey players. I played 13 years, Jeff played 11 years, and Dave played 10 years pro in the National Hockey League in the WHA. So we weren't actors, we were hockey players. And what we would do with Newman is we'd help him. We would help him with the hockey stuff. What would a coach do here? What would a player say here? Well, how would you react there? But we're doing a film with George Roy Hill, who is a brilliant director with the Sting, and he just got done doing the Sting with Paul Newman and Robert Redford.
Wow.
And Butch Cassidy's Sundance Kid, George Roy Hill did that one also. But he would come up to us, and we were struggling a little bit, and George Roy Hill came up to us at Newman, and he says, "Listen, boys, you know exactly what the scene is calling for. You don't have to read the script line for line. Just make us laugh."
Wow.
And what we would do is we would just start playing off each other and just start rattling off stories and rattling off lines, and all of a sudden they said, "Holy smokes, this is pretty cool." Now, I'll give you another story about Slapshot 2. The director, we had a scene in the bar where we're beating up a video machine, and the director says, "Okay, you put the 2 quarters in, you go for 5 minutes, until the video machine stops. That's when your scene stops." Well, the director says action, and we went off on it like we did the soda machine, where the machine took my quarter, and we went off on this machine for about 5 minutes, and all of a sudden the director said, "Perfect, cut, use that, let's do it again." And the assistant director says, "I didn't know we were rehearsing. I thought we were rehearsing. I didn't have it filmed." And the director fired that assistant director at that moment and says, "They don't rehearse. It's one of these. It's pretty tough to react at. When you're just ad-libbing the whole time. It's hard to redo the same thing over and over. So what we try to do is try to hit it the first time right on, and then cover it up on the second one."
Nice.
That is great.
Hey, Steve.
But they gave us the freedom to do what we wanted to do and how we wanted to say it and a lot of stuff. And we got a lot of directions from them, but they gave us a lot of freedom.
Nice. Hey, Steve. Angelo Chetto speaking here. Big fan of the movie, man. Great work with that. I wanted to ask you a question. You played for the L.A. Kings, correct?
I did. Yes.
Now, did you also play alongside with Gretzky at the time?
What happened there is that was before I played with Gretzky in Edmonton.
That's right. Okay. Yes.
Before that, I centered Gordie Howe and Mark Howe in Hartford with the New England Whalers. Then I went to Edmonton on a trade, and when Gretzky was traded, or when Indianapolis folded and they traded Gretzky, Eddie Mio, and Peter Driscoll to Edmonton, he was my roommate at Edmonton for that year.
Wow.
So there was only two players in the history of hockey that played with Gordie Howe and Wayne Gretzky, and I'm one of them.
God bless. That's great, huh? Great. Look at that. See, that's great, Steve.
And I'll give you a story about that one. Is we were doing a show in Albany, New York, with Dave Hanson, who is one of the Hanson brothers, was the general manager of the Capital District Islanders, and he brought the Hanson brothers in, and they brought in Gordie Howe. And one of the questions to me was, and I'm sitting right next to Gordie Howe, is who's your idol in hockey? Obviously, come on, Gordie Howe, Wayne Gretzky and all that stuff. But Wayne Gretzky was younger than me, so I couldn't say Wayne Gretzky. I looked at Gordie. I looked at Gordie Howe and says, "Gordie, I'm really sorry, but Davey Keon's my hero."
Oh shit!
He was my idol of hockey because he was I played with him with the Minnesota Fighting Saints and New England Whalers, and he won some Stanley Cups with the Toronto Maple Leafs. He was my idol. I just loved watching him play.
You know who my idol was?
Gordie says, "Good." Who's that?
Mike Bossy.
Mike Bossy, score from anywhere. Score from anywhere. That was one. You see, when I played for the LA Kings, we played them the first round. The first year they won the cup, the first of the 4 years they won the cup when Ken Morrow came in from the Olympics. We played them the first round. And I was the defensive centerman checking the Trottier, Bossy, and Clark Gillies line. And during that series, we outscored the Bossy line, or the Trottier line, my line did, but the second, third, and fourth lines just killed the LA Kings lines. So we shut them down, but the Islanders had a great
I got a go for you. Ready for this one? Off the draw, Allison wins it again. Good play by Allison. As he shoots it in, it'll carry behind the net with 20 seconds to go. Billy Smith leaves it there to Pearson, and the Rangers make a change defensively. Pearson coming up the center ice on a stick of Pop Van Elite to the blue line, inside the line. Bossy knocks it free from the skates. Bossy comes in, back in the score! Mike Bossy ties the game. A Ranger mistake, and Bossy gets his first goal of the game with 11 seconds to go in the period, and we are tied at 1-1.
Oh,
yeah! And you never got that Rangers chant going, did you?
But I do remember the end. Kenny Morrow drops in his... No, wait. Kenny Morrow has done it, and the Islanders win in overtime. The Wolfman has done it, and the Islanders win.
I was on the bench when he did that. Come on. I'll never sleep again tonight. Thanks, Frank.
Oh, man. But, yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. We've had Major League Baseball players, Hall of Famers. We've had football players, Hall of Famers. You are the very first hockey player, and it is an honor that it's you.
Steve.
I want to be honest with you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
I almost had Ken
Maybe one day I'll
Danico.
get into the Hall of Fame.
Listen, you guys are
you trained and played with the best, Steve. So there you go.
You were drafted 131st in the overall
I just
draft.
want to make one thing clear. I want to make one thing clear. There was a couple false statements in that movie that Newman made. He said we were too stupid to play with ourselves. We weren't.
I have to be honest with you. I was born in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. So anything,
nice.
Even though I'm a Jersey boy all my life. I was born in Newcastle, PA, and my roots are in America. Actually, I was made in Italy, but I was born in America, and I stick with the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's Pittsburgh, for me. So the Pittsburgh Penguins, and so I'm always rooting until they get out. Then I start them going the Jersey side. Tell me a great Pittsburgh Penguin story.
Well, I was under contract with the Penguins for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
I was under contract when I was with the Baltimore Skipjacks, their farm team. And on our team in Baltimore, we had Dave Hannon, we had Phil Borg, we had Troy Loney, we had, Mario Lassar. We had pretty much all those Penguins, Bob Erie, all those young Penguins in Baltimore before they got to Pittsburgh to win the Stanley Cup. So it's one of these things that Gene Ubiaco, who's the head coach at Baltimore, and myself, I was the captain and the assistant coach there, we trained those young boys to get into the National Hockey League, and they did very well for themselves, winning the Cups.
Wow.
Nice. I tell you, it's one of those things. When you watch these players play, you watch the Mario Lemieux and the Gretzky's plays, and you see the way the games should be played. They got these, you can't hook, you can't hold, you can't interfere, you can't do nothing, you can't touch the goaltender, you can't hit nobody, you can't interfere, you can't do nothing, you can't do nothing except skate, shoot, and pass the puck. That's all you can do.
That's terrible.
And if you look at some sports, you can't hook them. And here's one of the things I always said about
you can hook them, but you just get a penalty for it.
So basically, you're not going. It's not a sport anymore.
They changed the rules because the rink is smaller and the Europeans couldn't handle the clutch and grab era. They couldn't play that way. The Americans and Canadians could. We played for the Stanley Cup. They played for the World Cup. Yeah. That's how they were brought up. And when they came over here, they couldn't handle the hook and grab, the hooking and grabbing stuff, so they changed the rules. You look at Gretzky during the hook and grab era with Mario Lemieux. They had over 200 points, and Gretzky had over 90 goals. Yeah. Come on, and they changed the rules to make there's more offense. There's very few players that can get 100 points now, right. and the league's watered down.
Yeah, you're right.
There's 31. There's going to be 31 teams now. So come on, they didn't make the game better. They made it actually slower. And I'd rather see a 2-1, 1-0, 3-2 game. And if someone has the puck, they should be hit. You know, there's no
definitely.
stick checking. There's no.
I mean, that's only right because you know, as a defensive man, you're shut down. You can't do anything, and what are you going to do? You can only hip check at that point.
What?
Well, the thing with that is, when they used to dump the puck in the corner. Your defensive partner interfered with the first forecheck, and the other defenseman took the puck and took off with it.
But was there any player that you hit that you really enjoyed hitting more than anybody?
You know, like I said, it's you know, when you get into the Stanley Cup Finals last year against Tampa Bay, and actually Tampa Bay and Boston was even better than Tampa Bay and Dallas. You know, that was great hockey, just great hockey.
Oh,
and
there's nothing like
probably
playoff hockey.
What?
In any sport you watch, playoff hockey is the best sport to watch. Period. I don't care what sport it is. Playoff hockey is hard, fast, crazy.
Yep.
It just the only problem you have is fouling the puck, and a lot of people have that problem. But if you're a hockey fan, I'm telling you, you're loving every second of it.
So what was the first time that you actually got on the ice?
The first time I ever got on the ice?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, I was like 5 years old here. I was born and raised in northern Minnesota, about an hour from the Canadian border. We had 9 months of winter and 3 months of summer, and you know, we had my father built our own rink. We skated on lakes. We skated up and down the streets because there's all ice all the time.
Wow,
so
that's what I was going to say on the lakes.
They were
Right?
destined to be NHL players.
Yeah, that's like
you got 31 to 40 below zero, and you're out there playing on the outdoor rinks. You know, come on, that's just hockey. You know, that's fun.
Right.
You know, and when you're on natural ice, you're flying out there, and then you go out there and skate for 15 minutes, play your games, and go in the shed and warm up because we always had a shed there with a fire going on, and warm up and go back out there and play again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Well, Steve, I do. I really want. I want to thank you so much for giving us this opportunity, and I'm hoping for the conventions to open up. I really want to meet you guys. The Wiseguyz all want to meet you guys. We want a nice photo with the Wiseguyz and the Hanson brothers. and I'm serious. We're gonna do. We have friends that are doing all kinds of conventions when they open when COVID goes away and slows down. And we're gonna do everything we can to get you some work because everybody's hurting right now and conventions haven't been opening. But I see a light at the end of the tunnel, and I got to be honest with you. You are a big part of me growing up because we practically watched Slapshot once a year at least, and I gotta say to me it's a huge honor to have you on the show, and I want you to say hello to your brothers from all of us here at the Wiseguyz Show.
I sure will. And listen, a little help there is if you can promote the Hanson Brothers .net for our merchandise because we just came out with a new line of merchandise with shirts and hats and pucks and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool stuff.
Absolutely, we're going to actually order from you ourselves, and I want to mention it. HansonBrothers.net. Go to the Wiseguyz Facebook page to see it, or go directly to the Hanson Brothers on Facebook, or go right to HansonBrothers.net and listen. If it can't hurt to tell them the Wiseguyz sent you.
You got that right, no doubt about it. Hey, listen, I appreciate it a lot, guys. Really, I do.
Thank you so much, Steve. Steve Carlson.
Yeah, Steve.
Keep going.
God bless you, and we hope to see you at the first con.
You guys, for one thing, you're out of this game. I run a clean game here. Have any trouble, I'll suspend. I'm gonna do a fucking song!